Ah, yes. I love that old TV. I had one of those tape room there.
That'd be sweet if you still used. You still watching the playoffs on that?
On that TV.
That'd be incredible. You got to get up and switch over from that.
Switch over, right? And then you had the little
adjust the antennas, adjust the rabbit ears.
Rabbit ears, or you had that little circular one for UHF. Which was tricky as well if you wanted to watch wrestling.
Moving day was a bigger challenge back in that day.
Yeah.
You know, it took like 4 guys to tackle one of those TVs.
And they were heavy, right?
Today you could take out a flat screen by yourself.
Pretty easily. All right. Enough of tripping down memory lane. Let's get to the actual tape room with Mike Rupp. And you wanted to look at Evan Bouchard.
Yeah.
Running the power play here at the top for the Edmonton Oilers. And, this is interesting because they traded Tyson Barrie, and Evan Bouchard is a younger player, but he's got a good shot. I wondered how it was going to work out. It's working out well.
Yeah, so I remember speaking to some people in Edmonton, even last year. They're like, this guy will be running, this kid will be running this power play at some point. And again, Tyson Barrie was he did an incredible job.
Really good at
a record-setting power play, and he was a very integral part of that power play. But you got to give a lot of credit to Ken Holland and company for recognizing, all right, this is our needs, and that's at home. Right? They did something that you got to use some guts to disrupt potentially a power play like that. But the only way you could do that is knowing that you got this waiting in the wings. Right. And Evan Bouchard's ready to blossom and take that next step. And we're going to get to it. A huge, big shot he has. So the first one, not a ton to point out here. Just look at the confidence that he has on this. He's just distributing the puck, moving it around, and that's not easy. A lot of players will defer to greatness. I've seen it. I was in Pittsburgh. I've seen players. Where's Sid? I got to get Sid the puck. I got to get Malk in the pocket. You don't want to defer. They want to play with you. Look at Evan Bouchard moving this puck around, and then just, you get an opportunity to rip that thing. Look at this shot.
He can rip it.
Absolute bomb. Hang on to this one a second. All right, we'll run it through. Actually, sorry, run it through here. And Bouchard, this is the Draisaitl goal, the second one. Oh, no, that's still that one. All right, sorry. We'll go to let's move it on then to the Draisaitl goal, because the one that's crazy about this is I love his route. He's so smart. He's very distinctive and plays with some conviction back there and knows what he wants to do. And there's just a subtle thing that he does here that opens up Draisaitl. And we're going to bring it back. Bring it back to the top there for a second. So you're going to see... keep it going. Right there. Stop it there. So you're going to see Bouchard. He's off your screen over here, right? So he's going to move in, and he's going to come across this way. And once he gets across, I'll pause again. Roll it forward. He's going to get moving. Move this puck over to Nuge. Nugent Hopkins going to come down. Stop it right here. So this is why I like his route when he came over here. And you can't really see it totally because he was kind of off screen, but he came kind of flat across here. And then he's looping back down in the middle, and he's showing shot, okay? And what this does is, this is Anze Kopitar. This makes Kopitar come out. And if he's just going to catch the pass, if it's just going to be a pass, a catch, and release back, I don't think Kopitar is going to be committed this way. And by Kopitar committing up this way, that opens up this pocket for Leon Draisaitl to slide in. So that's the key part with a top guy on a power play. You're not just up there distributing the puck. You're playing a game of cat and mouse. You got to make forwards on the penalty kill. You got to make a move. You got to make a bite. You got to make a move, 2 feet to this side. Commit to you up front. And if from the middle of the ice, we already saw that big shot, Kopitar's got to front this puck. Roll it forward slowly here. It's going to go pass down. Look at Draisaitl just pop out. Pause it here. Draisaitl sees this pass come down. He's like, cool, I'm going to go in that little pocket there. And look at it. It's a game of inches. Move it forward, please. Draisaitl doesn't need it along on his stick. Bang. Look at, bring it back a little second there, right when Kopitar's about to get a stick in there. Roll forward, real slow, roll forward. And keep it going, keep going. We'll get a pause right when Kopitar's stick is extended all the way, right where the puck hits there. Pause it right there. All right, so that little gap that you're seeing right there, none of that happens without Evan Bouchard pulling out Anze Kopitar. I love it. I mean, this kid knows how to run an offense. He knows how to run the power play. And the bigger thing, he's got the guts to do it. I ain't looking for everyone else. I'm playing with these guys, these superstar players. I think we got a superstar power play guy of the future. He's really good.
He was a high draft pick, and he's somebody that they really did like. And you said it, Kenny Holland, it takes guts. You got to make the decision to put this kid in there. They felt he was ready, and that's a great tape because it's such a small margin.
So that's an area where he's able to even just, and I'm not going to compare how he is and Tyson Barrie, although I think Evan Bouchard has a better shot.
Yeah.
Okay, we think the kid's ready to take on what the great work that Tyson Barrie did, but look what they got out of this. They got Matthias Ekholm, and we know how their team has changed since they got him, and they checked that box as well.
Scott Hurtnell was racing around inside this studio with his hair on fire when Tyson Barrie got moved for Ekholm. Who's going to run the power play?
Yeah.
Who's going to run the power play? Kenny Holland had a pretty good idea. He's thinking a couple of steps ahead on that one. This kid's he's coming along. He's coming along fine.
So, Stu, do you have something on stretch passes?
I got something on stretch pass, and interestingly, your guy will come up in all this. Even strength, but we'll make reference to Bouchard as well. I have found it really interesting in the context of the same series, Kings, Oilers. Both teams are using the stretch pass, the stretch play to their advantage. So we've got this kind of seesaw tactical thing going on. Take a look at Game 2. This is a power play opportunity for the Kings. Doughty's going to gain the back of the net. Doughty's going to lay it back to Victor Arvidsson, and watch Arvidsson. He's going to kind of survey middle ice. And notice how you've got 3 Oilers that are kind of standing center red line. They're going to try and front the attack, and hopefully, we were talking about this earlier, disrupt play in and around neutral ice. But what that does, as these 3 are playing forward, it creates space in behind them. Kempe's able to kind of slot in behind there, and watch what Victor Arvidsson does. He's going to catch that pass back from Doughty, and then he's going to go directly up the ice and go off the far wall, recognizing that Kempe's been able to use that ice we just shadowed for you to get in behind the defenders, and it's a chance unfettered. He's got a couple of strides on the nearest Edmonton defender as that puck enters the far end. This is it kicking off the back wall. Kempe's, again, untouched, steps into it. Skinner has virtually no idea where he's going because it's kind of a slapper one time off the back wall, and that ends up being the 2-2 goal back in Game 2 that gets the Oil back into it. Here's Bouchard surveying things up ice. This is the overtime winner of Game 3. He's going to go off the wall. He's just spotted Hyman at the far blue line. Hyman's able to take that. Hyman takes over from here. He's showing pass into the interior like he's going to pass to McDavid. And what he does is he kind of freezes Doughty. Doughty gives him just a little bit of cushion based on that showing pass that Hyman just gave off. It gives him the ability, the space to get that shot off. And I think, too, to some degree, Korpisalo is kind of shading towards McDavid because Hyman is kind of showing pass. He may have been off his angle, and that's your overtime winner. Again, both off stretch plays, but you really have to credit these clubs, the coaching staff, and then as it's applied by the players, they're seeing some vulnerabilities there. And again, it's kind of like that, if I do this, if we stand up in neutral ice, it leaves a pocket in behind. And I thought it was really interesting, especially on the Kempe goal going back to Game 2, how they were able to exploit that. It might be that you only get one chance to do that, and you spent it on a pretty good play, and fortunately you executed. But it's been fun. It's been fun to watch these little technical, tactical plays within the broader battle and how teams have been able to maximize them.
That's been